Warning: the No AC Only Fans podcast may include content not suited for non-mature audiences who can't take a joke. We would like to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. Enjoy.
Welcome in to the No AC Only Fans podcast with your host, Big Crispy, aka Big Simpin, aka Tyler Gump. Once again, like always, sitting across the table, the COVID-19 champion, Christian Klein.
Hey, what's up, people? I know y'all miss me, but I was fighting for my life.
Man was dying out here.
Hey, there was one day I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital, but I hopped in the shower.
Are you gonna hop up? Are you gonna hop up on them woke girls' Facebooks and be like, "COVID wasn't that big of a deal"?
I don't want to do that to people.
I just seen a Snapchat story today actually where some girl posted, "It's like, I'm so sick of people acting like COVID's not a thing." I was like, "Oh well."
Okay.
COVID's a thing.
It's a thing. It's definitely
COVID is a thing, but I don't think it's as severe as some people.
It's just worse for people who have
Underlying conditions.
Yeah, like immunocompromised.
But still doesn't kill as many people as the seasonal flu each year. Still
It's
haven't
wild,
reached that number.
Still.
I think I would just go ahead and say, if you have underlying conditions or you got like COPD or something like that, it might be pretty rough for you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Asthma.
Because I still can't get the fucking phlegm up. It's still in me. I can't get it up.
Gotta do like one of them, one of those fucking like the Vicks machines that they have for kids.
But you also never stopped smoking.
Yeah, that probably doesn't help.
I mean, I smoked a little bit. I mean, I really didn't vape too much either. I went a 4-pack of pods. I had the same pods for like a solid week.
Crazy.
How many do you normally go through?
Usually I smoke one a day, a pod a day. 4 pods last me 7 days instead of 4 or 3.
That's
this
crazy.
motherfucker acts like I haven't been with him for a whole 2 weeks straight.
May have cheated on hers for a little bit.
Yeah, that's probably your problem. I mean, when you get pneumonia, either you're not supposed to smoke, right?
No.
If I get pneumonia, I'm not gonna smoke. But
I mean.
If I get it, I'm not gonna smoke. But I'm not gonna smoke now to prevent from getting it.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I had some good days and I had some bad days. That's all I got to say.
So, anything fun happen in your quarantine that we need to know about that I didn't hear about?
A whole lot of boozing.
Whole lot of boozing.
Whole lot of boozing.
And snoozing. And football.
And football, yeah.
That was expected to happen.
Oh, and we were making tacos last night. And I cut up a jalapeno naked.
Wait. You was butt-ass naked in the kitchen?
Butt-ass naked, yes.
Why was you butt-ass naked in the kitchen, Cook?
I had Crocs on. I wasn't completely naked.
Please tell me it was just you two in the house.
Of course, bro.
Yep.
Butt-ass naked.
I was just...
This story can't end good.
I was just naked, so...
It's great.
I cut the fucking jalapenos.
I can just... Wait.
And I had my hands on them.
I can just imagine you standing there.
My dick out, yep. And I made a mistake and accidentally touched my ball sack after. And that shit was bad. It was so bad.
He got in the shower. Babe, it's red.
It's burning. Oh, it was bad. It was so bad.
What do I do?
I'm like sitting there, I'm like, damn, this shit is burning.
It's like icy hot, man.
Like some fucking poison ivy or
It's
some
like on
shit.
Zack and Miri when he puts the
Hand warmers.
It's burning my tank.
He just the imagination of seeing your kitchen and just seeing you standing there in your fucking Crocs. Did you have your hat on?
No.
Okay, in your Crocs, butt-ass Dick just slanging.
Dick slapping.
Slanging against the counter. You just got you fucking jalapeno. You chop it up like no big deal. That's the recipe for disaster, dude.
Yeah,
Cooking naked.
Wasn't one of my best. Definitely wasn't one of my best decisions.
We might have been a little faded.
I might have been a tad bit faded.
Tad bit faded. No, I would have paid $100 to see you freak out.
Yeah, I was freaking out. My sack was red.
Babe, it's red.
We're gonna have to go to the hospital.
My husband will write me a prescription for this pneumonia too.
You imagine a doctor, you just walking in, he's like, what's wrong? He's like, I got jalapeno juice on my balls.
These joints are irritating. Bad. I couldn't even put on underwear before I came. Take a look at these joints.
Let me see.
Let me see them things.
You know those ball jacuzzis they make? You would have to get one of them.
Oh shit.
You never seen the little ball jacuzzi?
Did.
They have those little battery operated ball jacuzzis. I don't know what it's for. It's supposed to be like prevent.
You know what it's for.
No, I swear. It's supposed to be like certain good for like certain men's health or some shit for something.
Yeah, I bet it is.
But it's like a battery operated like ball jacuzzi. You put water in it. You heat turn it on. It heats up and boils.
It's like
and
a little tiny bathtub.
yeah, but it's shaped of nutsack, and you put your balls in.
Oh,
you sit down and put your balls. You put your balls in.
What?
For real, this
Who
is
thinks
the
of
thing.
this shit?
I know what they was thinking when they made that.
Of course you do.
Do you remember earlier this year though when I've got to look it up? But do you remember earlier this year when was it last year when everybody was dipping? They said you could taste stuff with your nutsack.
Yeah.
People were dipping their nutsack and shit trying to taste it.
I tried.
No, you didn't. What'd you try it with?
What
What did you try?
wasn't it orange juice or something? They said people could taste
Pickle juice.
pickle juice. You dipped your nuts in pickle juice.
I was getting ready to pour it out anyway.
There's a ball jacuzzi. Got a little place for your shit to rest.
Could you imagine sitting on that while you're getting top?
What? I don't know. I don't know if that would make it feel better or not.
I mean, you ever...
Yeah, but wouldn't you just want her to be sucking on them, not necessarily be the jacuzzi?
Yeah, but she could do both.
Then that's gonna make a mess. There's gonna be water everywhere.
He's always a mess.
There's always a mess after anyway.
I can't with you. Paul Jacuzzi's fucking...
We could put them motherfuckers in a strip joint when we open it.
Yes,
Jesus.
in the Sex Doll Hotel.
Yeah, Sex Doll Hotel.
With the ball jacuzzi.
With the ball
Dude,
jacuzzi.
I'm telling you, this
That's
is great
extra.
idea.
You get the rooms with the ball jacuzzi, that's an extra $50 a night. Make some money.
You can sleep with your sex doll, and then you can take you a nice ball jacuzzi bath.
Or, never mind.
No, or what?
You could be in that ball jacuzzi while you got that sex doll riding you.
I guess. I mean, it just depends on how floppy your nuts are. I mean, well, never mind.
You got some ideas for that ball jacuzzi. Looks like that's what
You could have ordered them for Christmas.
for real. I was just thinking that.
I'm just trying to make us think of some ways to make some money from some of these poor sons of bitches out here.
Paying thousands of dollars for somebody's socks.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I seen this interview with this girl, and she was talking about her OnlyFans, and she has like a OnlyFans like specific to a fetish, where she acts like a dog, like wears a collar and a leash and like barks and like fucking.
You paid for that one?
No, this was a real interview on No Jumper. I was watching it, and this bitch makes over like $100,000 a month from dudes that just fucking is obsessed with this fetish and tip her large amounts of money and shit. Like, she'll send like a private video for like $500 and they'll pay for it.
What's the fetish?
Acting like a dog.
That's fucking wild.
Dude, and people pay good money for that shit. It blows my mind what you just find. And this is what she said. She goes, you just have to find that niche that people are embarrassed to admit they have, but they will pay great amounts of money to satisfy that itch.
For real.
And that's what she did. She's like, a lot of people don't want to admit they have that fetish, but they pay good money for it. That's just fucking
So does that
wild.
mean some men like to envision fucking dogs?
Apparently.
Maybe, or maybe they just want their girl to act like that. I mean, look at all the different fetishes that are out there. I mean, there's a lot of different fetishes out there.
Like, how do you act like a dog when you're having, like, what? I don't understand what that means even.
I'm pretty, she
like,
says
what
she
you
like
doing? You
barks.
barking?
That's what she says. She says she like barks and like eats like human food out of a dog bowl. Like, she'll mash up food and like eat it out of the dog bowl and shit like that.
That's very
I'm guessing
theatrical.
other stuff. I'm sure she's doing other things, but
Kick.
Oh, she's probably shoving shit up her ass and
probably.
Bones and shit. Like,
Yeah,
what you doing?
I mean, shit. They got them fucking dildos for the women, those bad dragons and shit.
what the hell's that?
She knows what those are.
What's a bad dragon? What is it, man?
Why don't you explain it to him?
You know what it is. I love to hear about what this is.
Have you looked it up
Nope.
ever?
I know what it is.
You've looked it up, haven't you? At least once.
What is it?
Bad dragon is basically like a dragon's dick. Like, imagine a dragon's dick as a dildo. They just like made a copy. They have like They have like octopuses. They got horse
so fucking
cocks.
weird.
They got everything, dude. They got even they got like every
weird.
animal you can imagine. Dick.
It's so weird.
They have
Don't
literally everything. It's
That's
so
some
weird.
sick shit.
I don't understand.
It's some sick
Don't
shit.
understand.
They make dildos out of everything though. I've seen one out of like a beer bottle. Like somebody casted a beer bottle in rubber as like a dildo. So like it looks exactly like that, skinny at the top, thick at the bottom.
God, he's been looking at these shits.
That was actually a scene on TikTok. But yeah, I mean they just make crazy fucking things out of dildos, man.
It's wild.
That's why us men can't compete with some of these things nowadays. When you see some of these machines and shit coming out, you might as well just throw in the towel.
Well, shit, women probably thinking the same way.
True. You ain't wrong.
But I like the real thing.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. But shit, there are people out there that marry them sex dolls and shit. You've seen that.
Probably a lot less hassle for them. I think. I'm serious. Probably
What
what
did you
they
see?
think.
There was that one firefighter that I can't remember. He was making news because he married a sex doll, got divorced from his sex doll not even a year later, and then married his like fucking couch or something. Like, it makes no sense. But yeah, he like.
Why are you allowed
basically-
to marry inanimate objects? Is my
I don't
question.
know. I don't know if it's a legit marriage. I don't
Probably
know how
not
that works.
legit.
I'm sure it's just like fake,
We're
but
married.
I mean, if you're desperate and lonely, I guess you do desperate and lonely things. I mean,
Desperate
shit.
times call for desperate measures.
Twice?
Twice, yes.
Fuck.
Like I was talking to you about today. There was this. When I was younger, my stepmom had this friend, and no, like nothing weird like that. Like she had this friend, and her friend had two kids. One of the kids, the older one, is like I think she's 30 right now, just turned 30, maybe 29. But this bitch just keeps having babies. Done been married about 3 times, and she.
How many kids this bitch got?
3 or 4, and she's just got divorced again.
She must be miserable to live with.
I don't
She's got
know,
divorced
bro.
3 times?
She just gets married, has a kid or 2, gets divorced, gets married again, has another
Gets the child support, gets the money from the dude.
That sounds terrible.
She must be some type of train wreck.
I mean, I did know
And
somebody
she's
that.
she's a fairly good-looking girl. Like, she's pretty, you know what I mean? So, she must just be a fucking wreck.
I
Be
knew
like that
someone, though.
sometimes.
They, up in the town I used to live in, they adopted children for that exact reason, to pay their bills. They didn't work. They just kept adopting kids.
That's disgusting.
They had, like, fucking, like, 8 kids at one point.
That's disgusting.
Ain't that fucking nuts, dude?
I don't understand why people. I just don't get that.
No, because
Like,
it can't be.
Oh wow, yeah, she's very pretty.
She's very pretty, yeah.
She's very pretty.
It can't be healthy for a relationship. Yeah, what the fuck? She has to be crazy.
She crazy.
You gotta be crazy.
She crazy.
We know
she's
that.
very pretty though. She's very pretty.
She
We
good at
know
doing that, ain't
she's
she?
gotta be
Huh?
crazy.
She's good at getting pregnant.
Fertile.
What do you? I mean, yeah, for real. Like, if you getting pregnant that much, dude, there's a problem.
Hey,
For
some
real.
people be fucking out here.
I guess some
Well,
people be
sometimes girls
fucking,
be-
but
Playing them in. For real.
oh, you
Yeah,
think
you're
that's what
right.
it is? Girls
Yeah.
be playing them in?
Yeah, I know girls. I mean, yeah, I know girls that have done that.
Just got pregnant by a guy just for child support and shit.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
That's why you get a vasectomy and you date her and don't ever tell her about it.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Then
that
she
would
comes
be
to you
kind
and
of
says,
fucked.
"Babe, I'm pregnant." Oh yeah, well, I'm leaving you then because it ain't mine.
I think you can do that at a certain age, but I don't think you can do that like at a young age, especially if she's expecting to have kids and shit.
That's mean.
That's a little fucked up.
Hey, there's dudes out here that do it younger.
What about the okay? What about the kids? What about the kids you see nowadays? Like, you see all these videos of these dudes that, like, to not being any type of stereotyping in here or anything, two white people that, you know, have a kid and the kid comes out a different color and then they're like, still my baby. It's like,
Oh hell,
you know
no.
that kid isn't yours. I mean, if you want to step up and do the right thing, sure, that's on you. But
But that ain't
That makes you a fucking idiot.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But she was cheating. You can't deny that she was cheating.
Yeah.
That's awful.
I've seen those posts where the girl's like, "It may not be yours, but I want you to be the daddy."
Yeah.
The fuck?
Well, who was it? I remember
Ew.
somebody recently. They got pregnant, and I was like, I can't remember. It was somebody I knew, and I was like, "Oh, who's the dad?" And they said, "I don't know," or something like that. So it was like 3 different people it could have been. I was like, "Oh, shit! Guess we'll find out later down the road."
Oh my god.
That's sad.
That's awful.
But we also do know somebody that got decked down by 3 different dudes in one day. So I mean, that could be the same situation.
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty sad. And you let all of them nut in you or so shit.
That's disgusting.
Oh,
That's pretty bad.
I got a story to tell you. I got a story to tell you about something that I heard that I think you're gonna find very funny.
Oh, I gotta hear this then.
You know about the Julia's fucking boyfriend. Right?
What about him? Because we haven't heard from him in a
Well,
minute.
I heard somebody I know that's, you know, pretty close to me pulled
Yeah.
a train on her.
Nuh-uh. Like, recently?
No, it'd been
Or
a
this
couple
was-
years back, but he said it was him and 3 dudes.
That wouldn't surprise me, honestly. That does not surprise me. How well do you know this person?
Very well.
Very well. He might be in the same building as us right now.
Oh, he got that? Oh, I would not expect that. I thought she was only for the one type.
No.
Damn.
Damn.
No, she.
Damn.
That's gross.
I'm pretty sure she
I'm sorry.
likes white dudes. Like, pretty sure.
I mean, the last 2 people I seen her with weren't. But I guess, you
I don't know. I've seen her with I've seen him with her. She likes everything.
She don't give a fuck.
We'll put it as that, but you let a train 4 dudes run up on you?
That's nasty.
God damn! No wonder Johnny came out the way he did. His spot was probably getting for it.
Damn.
God.
She's getting dick from everybody, stealing his tree. I mean, god damn, making him live in the garage.
You imagine that?
She sucks.
She comes home with 4 dudes. She goes, Johnny, we're using your bed. Get the fuck out.
Oh,
Goes in there. Johnny's playing Fortnite in the garage. Julie's just getting ran in the fucking room right next to He goes, God damn it, some guy's talking shit to him online. He's like, fuck you, Bo. Fuck you.
up.
Yeah, pull up to my house.
Somebody stole my tree out of the fridge.
What's that noise in the background? My sister's having fun with 4 dudes.
Two fucking boyfriend.
They're playing Scrabble in the background.
Playing Scrabble my ass.
Oh, man, poor bastard.
That's
That makes me think about some type of person some type of way. If I knew some girl that was getting ran on by 4 dudes, I don't think I could sleep with her. Like,
That's
for
not-
fun?
That is fucking gross.
For fun? I mean, that reminds me of, you remember our one friend that doesn't talk to us anymore? JoJo's old, you know.
Yeah.
You remember when her friend from Athens came over, the blonde?
Oh, that bitch was nasty.
And she was telling us, she goes, yeah, she slept over with 60 dudes, never used protection once, and never got tested. She tells us 2 weeks later, like, she's up to like 70 something dudes, went and got tested and found out she had the clap or something.
Yeah, but
I was
no,
like, that's fucking crazy.
The funny thing is she said, I remember her saying she had been with that many dudes in like half the school year, not the full school year.
Yeah.
Like, so in like a 4 or 5 month period, she fucked 70 dudes.
That's like insane. Like,
That's
she was
no-
literally just like, she never fucked anybody in high school, so she just wanted to hoe out, and she hoed out like majorly.
A lot of girls do that.
Yeah, but I mean, in 4 or 5 month period,
Yeah, I knew a girl like
how do
that.
you fuck 70? You have to fuck multiple people a day.
Like I said, I had that friend that like she was a big fucking hoe, and she like gave diseases to a whole bunch of dudes in a fraternity, and
that's disgusting.
Yikes, dude.
gross.
Yikes.
That's nasty.
Yeah. if
Brett
you-
fucked her though.
Don't be doing that, Brett. Come on. You have some standards, bub. Don't be fucking hoes, you know? Especially ones that got diseases.
Ugh.
And don't be spreading diseases like somebody else across the room.
Oh my god.
Don't be having bartenders come up and slapping you in the face for no reason.
God damn.
That wasn't a slap. That was a punch.
Dude.
This motherfucker gave me the clap. Boom.
Stay safe out there, people. Know who you
safe.
sleeping with. I can't speak upon anything because I did. Now that I think about it, I've had many of one night stands, and I never like questioned it. I never really thought about that.
Crispy.
What?
What you mean you never thought about
What
that?
you mean?
I just
You
never.
never thought of, have you?
I've never thought
that
about
shit?
like, oh shit, I should be worried about something. But like a lot of these people were like people that I met either through work. Well, the one time was like a couple times from the bar, but that's a different story. But there's been a couple times I hooked up with a couple people I worked with or whatever, and after it, I'm sitting there, you know, you're on that ride home, you got that post nut clarity, you're like,
Damn.
I didn't use no protection, shit.
Oh no.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I know. That's why you got a daughter.
You ever been in a bad one night stand? Like, you go to hook up, well, besides your, like, shit pants story and all that stuff, like, yeah. You ever just, like, go down on someone or something, and, like, I went down on this one girl, and she was of a different ethnicity, and her bush was thick. And that shit was like fucking. I put my face down there and I was getting cuts. Like that shit was so scruffy. It was like fucking my face up. So after like 10 minutes of trying to eat the kitty, I'm like, dude, I can't do this no more. This
Ain't
shit
nothing
is
wrong
hurt.
with a good boosh.
Yes, there is one that's
There
rough
is.
like that. That bitch was. It felt like I was rubbing my face in steel wool or something.
Oh,
dude. It was
God.
bad. It was not good.
That's nasty.
And I told her, like, I did hook up with this girl multiple times, but I did tell her, I was like, you're going to have to trim that shit if we don't do
Should have just brought some clippers over and did it yourself.
Bro,
I got
you know
you,
what?
girl.
The worst part is, she lived here. Yeah, this was when we were in Columbus. This is when we were still West Virginia, I believe. She did live here in Columbus. She lived downtown over there by Goodale Park or whatever. And she lived in this fucking... a house kind of like this, or I guess whatever. It was like a bunch of apartments,
Yeah.
but it was it was like they all shared one like bathroom or some shit, or like multiple bathrooms or something.
Like a fucking suite, mate.
But her whole room was just her bedroom. Like that was her room.
Studio.
And she was paying like $500 a month for that. And it was small as fuck. And Big Crispy's a big guy. And we're sitting here on this twin fucking bed trying to get in the work. You know, you got to make magic happen. You're like, shit, we need some room up in this bitch.
Shit, you should have put some bricks underneath the mattress like they did in Norbit. Those big Respucias on it.
Oh my god.
We didn't need no bricks, but shit, that shit was uncomfortable. Trying to cuddle and shit after you're trying to cuddle. I left a lot. I left a lot. It was one of those like, I gotta go.
You gotta
I gotta
get
go
out
home.
of here.
Cuddle and like, you know, when they're starting to fall asleep and you're like, I gotta go before I fall asleep.
That's
Even
the
though
worst.
you like wide awake.
So I got a question for you. So, you think you'd have your feelings hurt if you say you had a one night stand with somebody, and like they kind of, you know, after you both are done or whatever, and she just kind of looks at you and was like, "All right, so what we doing?"
Do you think if I'd have my feelings hurt? I mean, I don't think so. I mean,
think you have your feelings hurt?
I don't know, because like, I mean, that happened once, but I wasn't like upset about it. Like me and this one girl hooked up, but I had to leave because her son was there.
Oh my god! You and them moms.
Her son was there, and like no, this was the kid that I played basketball with.
Oh
So like me and my buddy would go play basketball at the park, and we would play like with this kid, and like I just like saw his mom one day, and we were like, you know, she's a pretty cool person. Well, fucking, she ended up at the bar one night, had a babysitter at the house or some shit, ended up going back to her place, and like I fucking, you know, I knew who she was, and you know, you laid down the thing, and then you just kind of have to go on about life, and then seen her at the park again the other, like, probably a couple days later while we were playing basketball with her kid, act like nothing happened.
Oh my god. Hey, you know that them baby mamas be out there wilding when they get that babysitter.
Wildin'.
For real, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do when you ain't got
When
the
you
kids.
can.
Shit.
When you can.
I want to play this video for you. It's another one. It's another one of those effed up videos. Kind of almost like the small power type thing.
Oh my god.
Hopefully you find this as funny as I found it. We'll see
We're gonna put that on the
your
screen.
reaction. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the screen.
I missed the 4th of July cookout and cross burning this year because I wasn't vaccinated. Never again. Personally, I got the Pfizer vaccine because of the hard R. Purify my blood of all the foreign bodies. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Papa Johns. Amen. Amen, Lord. Go get the vaccine. You can't hate unless you vaccinate.
Oh my god. Jeez.
I missed
So I saw that shit the other day. I said, "How this shit on TikTok? How is this on TikTok?" It cracked me up.
Can't hate unless you vaccinate.
In the holy Lord of the Papa John's. What's the whole story with that? Is he still fighting that lawsuit, by the way?
I don't even know.
He said he was like coerced into saying it or some shit.
I don't know. I still eat the pizza.
Well, now they got Shaq as their spokesperson, the big old Shaq-a-roni, the new pizza they got.
Yeah.
Shaq does everything these days, for real.
Yeah, he
You
does.
gotta make your bread. You might as well do what you gotta do to
He's
make the
made
money.
enough bread.
I just seen him this morning on a motherfucking some type of pill commercial. Talking about when I turned 40, it was hard for me to gain muscles. Then it showed a before and after pic. He's like, yeah, Shaq. Yeah, Shaq-a-roni. Then the next
Get you
fucking
Shaq-a-roni
commercial, you
pizza.
see Papa John, Shaq-a-roni. Then you see him on an Icy Hot commercial. Then you see him doing this and doing that.
You remember when he had that, what was it, the Lincoln commercial or something? And they said that they had to take out the back seat just to put his seat in there, like it was a specially made car.
Oh, shit.
Or what about him on The General?
Oh, I forgot about that. Wasn't he in a smart car commercial too?
He's in that, and he was on a fucking Treehouse show too.
He's been in
Everything. He's like Shaq. I mean, he's like
He's like, Shaq.
he's like Snoop Dogg, where he just be doing shit.
Yep.
True, you ain't wrong.
Really just out here doing shit.
I mean, do what you gotta do to make your bread, I guess.
He might run for president. Watch. Swear to God.
Jeez.
Might happen. Now, we're getting into close to October here, even though it's like halfway through this month. And I kind of want to propose something to you, Christian.
What's that?
That I've seen a couple people do it, and I think we should take this challenge head on.
Yeah?
It's a sober October. So the whole month of October, no drinking, none of that, and you got to try to eat good. And weight loss, we'll weigh ourselves at the beginning, and then whoever loses the most weight at the end of October will win a prize or something. We'll do something or have to do something embarrassing.
So you mean to tell me I can't even drink for Halloween? That's stupid.
It's sober October.
Yeah, maybe for other people, but not for me.
You ain't gonna do the challenge with me?
Hell no, I ain't doing that.
Why not?
Cause Halloween's like
What if I give you just Halloween you can drink?
Why can't you do like
Halloween is
sober?
is the 31st, so I mean you can party on Halloween weekend. We'll cut it at that. How's that sound?
I'd be way too stressed for a sober
What do you
October.
mean way too stressed during sober October? You can still smoke.
Whoa.
You can still smoke and do your things like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
Just, I feel like it would be a fun challenge because October 31st, Halloween weekend, falls on it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
yeah,
so
but
the 29th, the 1st through the 29th.
parties and shit way before that, because all the suburbs and shit, like Tony
How many
has
fucking
his
parties are we gonna be?
Tony has his big party.
All right, how about this? You can drink on the weekends, not during the week.
I'll have to think about this one.
What do you mean you have to think about?
I'm pretty stressed out right now, so
I feel like this would be a fun challenge because
no, it would.
there's this. Yes, it is.
I'm stressed the fuck out.
There's the weight loss part of it.
I don't give a fuck about. I just lost like 10 pounds this week.
Yeah, but I mean, I could do good with it.
You don't even really drink anyway.
I drink, but I'm saying, why not take the challenge? You afraid you're gonna lose?
I feel like I would definitely lose a lot more weight than you because I drink a lot more than you.
Okay.
And I don't eat a lot. So if I take a month off from drinking, I'll probably lose 10 pounds at least.
Yeah, and then you would win the challenge and make me do something embarrassing or win a prize or some shit.
I'd have to think about it. We'll get back to you on this challenge.
I would think we should leave it up to the people. We should put up
Okay.
a post maybe and think if people want to do Sober October. What's your thoughts on Sober October? A month of eat. What do you mean you ain't doing it? A month of staying healthy and working out? Y'all kill me.
Working? What you gonna do? What kind of working out you
Work
gonna
out.
do?
I'll work out, eat better, whatever, for the whole month of October. We'll see what can happen. If not, let's make another bet on it then. I'll do the workout part, and you try to minimize your drinking. How about that?
This is coming from the same
I'll
guy
let you
that's
still
been
drink.
telling me he's been gonna start going to the gym for the last year.
All right. Then let's just do the workout part. See who can lose the most weight. Then
I'll just work
you can
out
still
at work.
drink. You can still drink, and I'll work out, and we'll see. We'll weigh in.
I'll go unload trailers every night.
That's fine. We'll weigh in. We'll see. You want to make a bet?
We'll think about. I'm gonna think about it.
I'm saying you can still drink. We'll just do the weight loss part.
But then it turns into a competition.
Yeah, that's the point. It's a competition. I'm going to kick your ass. I think you're afraid I might win.
I don't give a fuck about losing. I just care about because I like to drink my beers.
Well, drink your beers, but it's a competition. Drink some light beers.
I do drink the lightest beers they make.
That's what my point is. Let's get at it.
Give me a day.
Give you a day to think about it.
Yes.
What?
I thought you said we're gonna let the people decide.
Yeah, we'll put a vote up on there for the people, but I feel like this would be a fun challenge for the both of us. I need a little competition in my life.
How the fuck is it gonna be fun for me?
I mean, most people like donate to charity and shit like that, but we ain't got those type of funds to donate to charity and do it.
Nope.
I donated my time to some charity.
Because you had to.
Court ordered.
That's different. Shit, I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, but I
guess.
got out of my shit, so whatever.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Case dismissed.
Anything else on the bracket for you?
What do you mean?
Do you have anything you want to... questions?
There's always something.
I was going to say we could talk about NFL Week 2. We can do a predictions for Week 2 coming up.
We could do that, but I do want to bring up one thing that happened this week.
Oh, God.
My mom said... My mom said we're leading people to hell.
This podcast is bad for people.
And we're leading people to hell. And I would just like to come out here and just say that we love God on the No AC OnlyFans podcast. And we get into our conspiracy sometimes. And I just wanted to talk about that. What are your thoughts on that, Big Crisp?
What? That we're leading people to hell?
Yes.
I don't think we're leading people to hell. I mean, it's not like... I mean, I still believe in God and things like that. Yeah, I may question some things here and there. I may believe in some things that are different from what other people believe in, but aren't you allowed to have that opinion? And that, yeah, I mean...
Pretty much allowed to do whatever the
you
hell
can
you
still
want.
accept somebody, but it doesn't mean you can't question the thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, who doesn't say we do reincarnation and shit like that? I think that may be a thing.
Maybe.
You know,
I
you
don't
can
know.
take parts of different religions and piece
Mix
them
it all together.
Yeah, everybody's got a different God. I mean, everybody's got a different view of how things are done.
What is this, like a potluck religion?
No, I'm not saying it's a potluck religion.
Just fucking around.
I'm just saying, like, you really don't know until that time comes.
What about all these people that die and say they saw... Or what about people that say they saw Jesus and they passed out?
Maybe they did, and maybe they fucking don't realize they, come back in a different life. Like I said, because I've always had that strong feeling when I was little that, like, I kept remembering things about a life in a, like, past time, and who doesn't say that wasn't true, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I lived that type of life. Like, I remembered things and people and places and, like, a job and shit that I've never seen, I've never done, but I'm like, I've been there, I've done that, you know what I mean? Like, that shit pops in your head, and you're like, why does that connect with me so much?
Why is it so familiar?
Yeah, and then that's what they talk about too. Like, what if like a lot of people that you like connect with throughout your lifetime, like who doesn't say you weren't connected with them in that life, and you both died, and like you're connected in this life, just in different bodies and different people, and like you connect, and that's why some people's connections are so strong, because they're like, shit, like I knew you in this lifetime, and blah blah blah. Because there was what was that big conspiracy? I don't think it was Edgar Allan Poe or Shakespeare or whatever. Him and his wife died or whatever, and he said, like, I'll see you in my next lifetime or something. And it's two famous people now. They both have, like, his name's not the same, but her name's the same. And they're together or whatever. It's, like, really creepy shit. I'll have to fucking look it up to try to remember.
So maybe Rachel was my wife in like 8 lives ago.
Yeah, you never know, but that's what I'm saying. Or there's that theory I have about, like, what if we have multiple universes and, like, you don't truly die until all versions of you die off? Like, what if, you are obviously spread across many different universes, many different lifetimes, they're all a little bit different. Yeah. And then when you finally, your last one dies, that's when you die for good. You just kind of bounce between.
I got a question, though. Don't they say that things are supposed to get better in the next life? I'd hate to see how broke I was in the past life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I guess I'm still young, but, like...
That's
just a solid point to think about. Like, damn, was I like a peasant then?
I don't know. I don't think it would be a peasant, but like, it's one of those things. Like, it's so weird that basically you would never know. Like, until that time comes. Like, unless we die, we do not know what is going to happen. Basically, you know what I'm saying? And the weird thing is, there's so many different, with people believing in so many different religions, you not really knowing which one's true and which one's not. everybody believes in something different. Who doesn't say we're all different? Who doesn't say there's multiple gods or something? You really don't know until that time comes.
Yeah, you're right.
Or, what if we all do believe in the same God, and it's one God, but it's just a little bit different here and there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, you see some crazy conspiracy, you see some crazy things, but I think there's just way too many similarities, and like way too much shit happens that basically you can't write it off. Like it's not plausible, I should say.
I'd have to agree.
It's just a waka thing. No, here's the thing I was talking about.
Before we do that, let's take a little quick commercial break.
We can do that. We'll be right
back, babies.
And we're back.
And we back.
Back with that KY jelly.
Oh, if you like dick and you like it slick. KY jelly.
Anyways, back up onto this conspiracy theory I was having you. I found actually a video explaining of it. It's on TikTok. These guys actually explain it pretty decently. It looks like they have a podcast of their own. But let's go ahead and watch this, because this is what I was talking about. I saw like an article on this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to believe this theory. Have you ever heard of the William Shakespeare theory?
No.
So William Shakespeare is famous for writing Romeo and Juliet in 1591, and he supposedly died in 1616. But what if I told you he's not really dead?
Wait, what do you mean?
You know the actress Anne Hathaway, right?
Dude, I love Anne Hathaway.
So when you look at Anne Hathaway's husband, his smile, his hair, everything looks just like William Shakespeare. And what's even crazier is that William Shakespeare's wife was named Anne Hathaway.
Wait, so you're telling me that 400 years ago, William Shakespeare's wife was named Anne Hathaway, and Anne Hathaway's husband today looks just like William Shakespeare?
Yeah, William Shakespeare even told his wife right before he died, "I loved you in my first life, and I'll see you again in my next life."
Dude, this is freaking me out. I'm getting goosebumps.
You're not going to believe this theory.
So,
What
if that's what I'm saying? What if that's a thing? What if you really do connect back with the people you're supposed to be with in your next lifetime?
That's crazy.
That's what's like. There's so much shit that you can't explain. That's like, it's just kind of hard to. I mean, there's so much shit we don't know that other people know that people hide from us, governments, etc., experiments people have done and shit like that.
Yeah.
You really don't know.
That just makes me think, like, what the fuck was I doing in my past lives? Probably bullshit.
Being wild.
The fuck, he was the fucking
Wild
jester.
the fuck out.
The jester for the king.
Shit, maybe. I might have been.
Just talking shit. Make me laugh, sir.
I was making Socrates laugh.
I don't know. It's just, it blows my mind. Like, there is so much shit out there, and you never know. Because what if these people, I mean, shit, what if people do live for a long time, and that's how they become rich and famous? It's like they just been around for so long, and we don't know it.
That's crazy.
Because look, I mean, look how many actors, like, haven't aged a fucking day. Like, you've seen them back in the 90s to
That's
now.
money. That's
And,
money.
like, they do not age at all, and they still look the same, and, like, still performing and shit. And, like, what if they just, like, fake their deaths and then, like, you know, go through, like, a rebirthing process to make themselves look super young again, and then just come out as another actor?
I don't like
And they just, like, perfect their craft over their lifetimes or some shit that they've had to do it. Because think about it. Look how many people that are out there that are billionaires. They, like, nobody knows what the fuck they do. There's a lot of, like, millionaires and billionaires that people are like, we don't know how this guy got rich.
Yeah, but that shit is not hard to find.
Maybe.
There's always...
I mean, look at, like, even Epstein, though. Epstein was rich and nobody knew how he got rich. He had some company, but it wasn't making money.
That's not true, because apparently he was working with Trump back in the day or so. Like, all the top 1% are all working together.
Yeah, but
Somehow.
there has to be some type of
Did you not
conspiracy
see?
or
Did
some
you
type
not
of
fucking
shit
see that
behind all that.
Amazon just announced that they're going to pay 100% of people's colleges?
That's good, I guess. If you work
100%.
for
You
Amazon,
work there for 90 days, they'll pay for all your college.
yeah, you go ahead and be a slave if you want to. Basically,
Well,
you're
shit,
just
I've been a slave for about 3 years now.
I know, but I mean, look how much that damage. I mean, people at Amazon's life suck. They all talk about how much it sucks there. They work all the time, like 12-hour days, 7 days a
Yeah.
week
Yeah,
and shit.
fuck that.
You basically work your life away.
Yeah, you don't do shit.
If you're down with that lifestyle, sure, but
I mean, but that. If I could go back and somebody told me that shit at 18 and said, okay, you'll have no student debt if you slave for me for 4 years, you'd definitely do it. Because if you say you run up $100,000 in debt, that's $800-900 a month for your whole life.
Yeah, I guess
you gotta think about that shit.
You ain't wrong. I mean, you're not wrong, but
they got that much money that they can do that. They got that much money.
Dude, he was divorced and was still like the richest man on the earth. You know what I mean? After losing half his money. Because what was that?
She became the richest woman.
Yeah, I mean, what's that whole thing? Which I think this is where people get confused because people's net worth and their actual money is different.
Yeah.
Just because their net worth says they're X billion dollars doesn't mean that's how much money they actually have. Which he probably has more than what his net worth is, anyways.
Oh yeah.
Or close to it. So yeah, he could give everybody $1 million and still be rich as fuck, but he ain't gonna do it. He worked for that money. He knows.
Hell no.
He probably
do it either.
He probably knows some shit about what's going down and is gonna take that money into a different world or lifetime and fucking use it somewhere else. I mean, why do you think all the rich people are trying to fucking get off Earth? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these rich people are trying to build spacecrafts and shit. Why are you trying to build spacecraft?
Are they gonna take us with you?
That's what I'm saying. What if I saw something? Now this is gonna be really fucking weird or whatever. I saw something how the world's basically supposed to end by 2025. It's gonna be like the last year of the world, and it was this whole conspiracy. I'm gonna sound crazy, but it's this whole conspiracy with like Biden and Harris or whatever, and like they dove into like the names and shit, like the name of Harris and her sisters, and their names are like Antichrist, like religion in like the Jewish language and stuff.
Kanye West?
No, like all their names like have to do with like the Antichrist or whatever. I mean, we can watch the video that I watched, but it's fucking nuts. It's like 10 minutes long.
Somebody close to me told me that Kanye West is the Antichrist, and it's gonna be revealed soon.
I don't think it's Kanye, but I think if anything, it's this shit.
Have you ever heard of the William Shakespeare?
If you want to watch it, we can watch that video. But it's just fucking. It's a wild.
Hey,
thing.
I kind of want to because this shit's interesting
We'll watch
to me.
this. I mean, it blows my mind because you don't know. I mean, it really could be true, and that's the question.
It could.
Here we go.
When U.S. Representative Nancy Pelosi on January 4, 2007, assumed her role as Speaker of the House at the opening of the 110th Congress, she followed the pattern that had been set by George W. Bush and his old man, infusing a loaded statement concerning the Founding Fathers, saying they were so confident in the, quote, America that they were advancing, they put on the Great Seal of the United States, Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order for the centuries, end quote. Pelosi did not go into detail as to why she considered the phrase Novus Ordo Seclorum important dialectic during the momentous changeover of the control of Congress, nor did she add why that expression exists beneath the unfinished pyramid and the all-seeing eye of Horus Osiris Apollo on the Great Seal of the United States in the first place. But her allusion to it was not coincidental. I believe it was framed against January 20, 2001, when her dynastic establishment president friend, George W. Bush, during his first inaugural address, faced the obelisk known as the Washington Monument, and twice referred to an angel that rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm, end quote. Now, his statement was credited to Virginia statesman John Page, who had written to Thomas Jefferson after the Declaration of Independence was signed, saying, "We know the race is not to the swift nor the battle to the strong. Do you not think that an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm?" End quote. Now, 5 weeks after Bush's inaugural, on Wednesday, February 28, 2001, Congressman Major R. Owens of New York stood before the House of Representatives, and he actually prayed to this angel in the whirlwind. He asked the spiritual force to guide the future and the fate of the United States. 28 weeks later, for a total of 33 weeks from the day of the inaugural, a number invaluable to mysticism and occult fraternities, 19 Islamic terrorists attacked the United States, according to the official story, hijacking 4 commercial airlines and crashing 2 of them into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. They slammed a 3rd into the Pentagon, and a 4th, which had been directed towards Washington, D.C., crashed near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. But what happened that day resulted in nearly 3,000 immediate deaths, at least 24 missing persons, and the stage being set for changes to the existing world order.
Some new world order shit.
This is exactly what it's basically about.
Now, when Bush was giving his second inaugural speech 4 years later, he again offered cryptic commentary, saying, quote, "For a half-century, America defended our freedom by standing watch on distant borders. After the shipwreck of communism came years of relative quiet, years of repose, years of sabbatical. And then there came a day of fire." End quote. A few paragraphs following that, Bush added this: "By our efforts, we have lit a fire as well, a fire in the minds of men. It warms those who feel its power. It burns those who fight its progress. And one day, this untamed fire of freedom will reach the darkest corners of our world." End quote. Now, this phrase, "a fire in the minds of men," is from Fyodor Dostoevsky's 19th century book, The Possessed, or The Devils, a novel set in pre-revolutionary Russia, where civil resistance is seen championed by nihilist Sergei Negev, who tries to ignite a revolution of such destructive power that society will be completely destroyed and then rebuilt. The fact that a United States president would quote this phrase in an official speech of record was astonishing to many analysts, given that The Possessed is about violent government crackdown on dissent that sparks civil unrest and revolution marked by public violence, something eerily reminiscent of today. Fire in the Minds of Men is also the title that historian James H. Billington chose for his famous book on the history of revolutions, including the origin of occult Freemasonry and its part in the American Revolution. In his closing comments, Bush himself tied the inaugural crypticisms to the Masonic involvement in the American Revolution, saying this, quote, "When our founders declared a new order of the ages, they were acting on an ancient hope that is meant to be fulfilled." End quote. The phrase, "a new order of the ages," is of course taken from the Masonically designed Great Seal, the Novus Ordo Seclorum. And Bush further acknowledged that the secret society members were acting on an ancient hope, an ancient scheme that is meant to be fulfilled. Now fast forward to the election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and the surreal, illicit invocation to dark supernaturalism tied to those governing entities intent on fulfilling, as Bush prophesied, that ancient conspiracy from the Great Seal of the United States has been immediately revived. Right on cue, we find Democrat Representative Emanuel Cleaver, for instance, offering the congressional prayer opening up the 117th Congress in, quote, "the name of the monotheistic God Brahma, and God known by many names by many different faiths," end quote. Now, setting aside the numerous incorrect assumptions by Cleaver involving Brahma, the entreaty to such a Hindu god was actually highly appropriate, given that Vice President Kamala Devi Harris, her name also invokes deities from Hindu mythology, from which Brahma is taken, but except in her case, illusionary and destructive ones. From the surprising meaning of Kamala Harris's name at thelist.com, we discover that Kamala is another name of the well-known Hindu goddess who is probably better known as Lakshmi. Devi is a Hindu goddess as well. It's a Sanskrit word that means goddess, but it's also the name of the Hindu mother goddess. Devi is considered to encompass womanhood completely, but she does have a fierce side and is involved not only creating worlds, but destroying them as well. Kamala Harris's sister's middle name matches hers, Maya. Her middle name is Lakshmi. Maya is also a Sanskrit name meaning illusion, and is another name of Durga, a Hindu goddess. Now, the list goes on to explain that Kamala's mother, Shamala, chose those names specifically because, quote, a culture that worships goddesses produces strong women, end quote. That's what she told the Los Angeles Times. Perhaps this explains why those strong women and men have taken to the streets of Portland, Oregon over the last 2 years to feed the spirit of chaos beneath the shadow of Portlandia, the second largest copper statue after the Statue of Liberty of a goddess in the United States. At 30 feet 10 inches tall and weighing 6.5 tons, if she was standing up, she would tower at approximately 50 feet high. The Portlandia Repose is located above the entrance of the City of Portland office buildings downtown, and it's implicative, actually, of the goddess of witchcraft, Hecate. Supposedly designed after Lady Commerce on the Portland City seal, she holds a trident, considered of the utmost importance for sorcery and indispensable to the efficacy of infernal rites. She holds that under a six-pointed star, which is, of course, also an important instrument of dark arts and Hecatean witchcraft. Now, as occultists know, the metal, copper, that Portlandia is crafted from was sacred to ancient goddess worshippers. In early Rome, copper was called cyprium, due to being primarily mined from Cyprus, the birthplace of the goddess Aphrodite. It was also sacred to the sun god of Babylon and similar deities, some of whom required human sacrifice. A plaque beneath Portlandia offers disquieting connections between her influence over that city and the souls of those citizens that she reigns over. Here's what it says, quote, she kneels down, and from the quietness of copper reaches out. We take that stillness into ourselves, and somewhere deep in the earth, our breath or souls become her city. If she could speak, this is what she would say. Follow that breath. Home is the journey we make. This is how the world knows where we are, end quote. So the pattern continues between some of America's recent national leaders whose invitations, unlike Donald Trump's habitual recognition of the Judeo-Christian God of the Bible, have been to dark supernaturalism for ruling over and guiding the souls and destiny of this nation into an occult world order. This now includes the new vice president, who could certainly become the actual president if acting Joe Biden, whom former White House stenographer Mike McCormick, who worked for Biden for 6 years, says has lost at least 50% of his cognitive abilities, becomes incapacitated or otherwise incapable of fulfilling his 4-year term, who bears the name of Hindu entities connected with illusion and the destruction of worlds. By the way, Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, upon witnessing the first detonation of the nuclear weapon on July 16, 1945, actually quoted the related Bhagavad Gita Hindu text declaring, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds," end quote. Now, Joe Biden's name is likewise intriguing. In fact, a Jewish scholar points out that the Hebraic name for Joe Biden actually translates, alas, judgment, while other experts note that it beckons the arrival of a promised son, a Messiah, such as is reflected on the Great Seal of the United States of America. According to prominent Rabbi Ari Weingarten, who says Biden's name contains the letters Yud Daled, This spells out the word yad, or hand, and he tells us why this is important. There's an article at Israel 365 that explains, Rabbi Weingarten states that the first and last letters of Biden's name spell out the word ben, meaning son, which hints at the process of Messiah, which will come through Messiah ben David, the anointed son of David, and Messiah ben Joseph, the anointed son of Joseph. Now, Rabbi Weingarten adds that the gematria, the Hebrew numerology of Ben, is 52, equaling the name of Elijah, the prophet who is the harbinger of Messiah. Now, here's something else he says. This is not to say that Biden is the Messiah or will announce the Messiah. But this is a reminder that even a path that we would rather not choose, that is, the election of Joe Biden, could be God's method to bring about the final redemption. Now, Rabbi Weingarten then notes the inner letters of the name of Biden, Yud and Dalet, and the gematria of those letters equaling 24. He goes on, quote, many times in the Bible, David's name is written with a Yud, bringing the numerical total of his name to 24. Biden's last name is coming to remind us that we are on the verge of Elijah's arrival to reestablish the Davidic dynasty, end quote. Now, the problem is, of course, for Christians and Messianic Jews, the Messiah already arrived in the New Testament. His name is Jesus. Therefore, the prophetic suggestion involving Biden's name most likely indicates a role that he could play with the coming of the false Messiah, the Antichrist. Even some Orthodox rabbis seem to agree with that, connecting the election of Biden and Kamala with the return of the days of Noah. Rabbi Joel Schwartz, the head of the Sanhedrin's Noahide court and a highly respected Torah law authority, produced a video in which he commented on the divergent possibilities of the U.S. presidential election. Here's a quote. The elections were held on the 17th of Cheshvan. He says that, and then he makes us understand what this has to do with Jewish tradition, the 17th of Cheshvan being the start of the rains that caused the flood in the time of Noah. They began falling on the 17th of Cheshvan. He goes on, quote, it was also on that day that here in Israel, the first rains of the season fell in earnest. They should have been rains of blessing, but since Biden was elected, these rains became like the rain on the same day in the time of Noah, a harbinger of the coming flood. Rabbi Schwartz adds, quote, the Democrats are spreading the very same sins that forced Noah into the ark, end quote, while another rabbi similarly notes that in Hebrew, Haris means destruction. With Trump out of the way, at least for the time being, the dark side of the deep state is quickly reviving efforts to refill the swamp and to get America back on track to its secret destiny, summoning those agents of chaos whose ancient scheme will culminate in arrival of the dreaded man of sin. Now, Joe Biden himself pledged allegiance to this new world order in a Wall Street Journal op-ed titled How I Learned to Love the New World Order, in which he detailed his vision of surrendering American sovereignty to a new global government via the United Nations. He said, quote, most Americans, myself included, reject 1930s-style isolationism. They expect to see the strong hand of American leadership in world affairs, and they know that many security threats require global solutions, end quote. Will Biden's vision quickly unfold in the countdown to Zeitgeist 2025? People who are not governed by God will be ruled by tyrants, said William Penn, the founder of the English North American colony, the province of Pennsylvania. And for all those now bidding the return of old Saturn or Jupiter's reign, we would also remind them of the ancient Greek tragedian Sophocles, whose warning was this: those whom Jupiter wishes to destroy, he first deprives of reason or drives mad. But that said, it appears that left-leaning Americans are nevertheless rushing to embrace the newly appointed zeitgeist gods, and this was actually vividly illustrated on the spring 2021 cover of Jacobin, a leading voice of the American left, offering socialist perspectives on politics, economics, and culture, where the apotheosis of Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton, with Hillary Clinton, are accompanied by lesser Elohim, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, portrayed as angels. Biden's larger-than-life, bare-chested figure is shown surrounded by holy spirits of Twitter and saints. The latter include kneeling Democrat leaders in the U.S. Congress, Dr. Anthony Fauci, fawning journalists and manager-class devotees eagerly consuming the holy scripture from what is probably the latest Barack Obama memoir. The former president himself is shown as a six-winged seraphim, bracketed by the likewise angelic Obama, Hillary, and Bill Clinton, with the trio gazing benignly from the heavens. A crowd of mask-wearing suburban laymen on earth celebrate Biden's ascension. The information that I just shared with you is only the tip of the iceberg.
Well, that's what.
Wow, shit.
That's like the whole thing. So, like, that's what they think. Well, the rest of his shit, like, I was looking up his thing. So he wrote this whole book, and it basically, like, everything points to, like, the world basically ending by 2025, which is fucking nuts. And it could happen. You never know, but I just thought that was wild.
It is wild.
That's some wild
Conspiracy. Because if you think about it, driving people mad, I mean, that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
You're basically forcing people not to be able to do anything by, you know, you got to do this or you ain't going to be able to do anything anyways. Mm-hmm. You're giving people options. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what the world comes to.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I mean, look how the religion portrays it. I mean, look how many people say the COVID shot's the mark of the beast and all that shit. Like, we've been over this 1,000 times and shit like that. I mean, it's weird that, like, you have, like, all these different religions that point out different things that have to deal with this that come true in their religion that leads to the end of the world, basically.
It's really crazy. It freaks me out.
It does.
Freaks me out.
It's pretty weird. Yeah. And the fact that he's all about the New World Order and shit just drives you insane.
Yep.
Damn.
Some little politic, you know, driving you insane conspiracy theories at the end of the podcast.
I don't like politics. Hate them.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't go living your life forever without knowing what's going on in the world, which is sad, but
yeah,
it is.
She knows.
It is. No, speaking about political things, did you see what Hilliard's trying to do?
What?
They're trying to build a new rec center. They're trying to raise the taxes out there in Hilliard. They're going to raise them by 0.5%.
Better tell your dad. Was it on Hilliard in the Know? Did you see it on Hilliard in the Know?
Yeah, you know his ass is going, they already got enough of my money, these motherfuckers. He already thinks the taxes are too high. Now they're going to be even higher.
This is fucking bullshit.
Raising them by 0.5% is going to raise it by like a couple $100.
A year, yeah.
Yeah, because I think what he said is
and they're going to be coming for them levies for the schools here soon, too.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to raise it at 3%.
It's fucked, dude. Taxes, everybody's got to get rich. You guys have any closing arguments? Want to wrap it up for the day since we both got things to do?
Shit, nah, I mean, we just covered a wide range of things.
Yeah.
Makes you think a little bit, though.
True. Jalapenos, cooking naked,
Good
politics,
shit,
sex doll hotel, ball jacuzzi.
Yeah, straight.
We got it all here on the No AC.
Damn straight we do.
That is
good to be back.
Yes, it is good to be back. I can't wait for you guys to come back over.
Yep.
My place.
Hell yeah.
We gotta do something.
Guess that's next weekend.
True.
I'm gonna be working.
Oh, you gonna be working?
Wait.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. That's
Wait, what
rough.
is today? Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Oh yeah, go back to work tomorrow.
Today's
Through
Tuesday.
Sunday. Yeah.
Well, have fun with that. Good luck. I'm sure you'll be glad to be back at work.
I'll be over there at the pool party.
idiot.
All that garage sale money might have a pool party.
Yeah, midget wrestling with bitches.
Dude, that micro wrestling, we do need to hit them motherfuckers up, dude. I'd love to get some of them little fuckers on the podcast.
Oh my god.
That'd be so sweet.
Yeah.
They're pretty dope. Anyways, we'll get into song of the day. You all want to say your goodbyes?
Good night, babies. We be back next week. We back. COVID-19's over. I was fighting for my life, but it's over with.
But it's
This man's
okay.
dying.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Back again like I never left.
True. Rachel, you got anything?
I'll see y'all later.
Say some prayers for Bubs. His
Yeah.
back's hurting.
Back's hurting.
I know. I've been talking to his doctor. We're about to go get him some more
Hey,
meds.
hopefully he'll be better. Anyways, we will catch y'all next week. Hopefully, everything goes smoothly.
Smoothly.
Smoothly. This is Song of the Day. I chose John Bellion's Adult Swim,
Oh shit.
featuring Tommy, is it? Or something like
Love-
that, to Amy or some shit. I
love
don't know how to
this
say his
song.
name. Anyways, we will catch you next time.